Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in City Skylines. It's not often you see my face on this channel, and some of you have never seen my face before because you don't really watch the content on my main channel. And every so often, I like to pop up on FACECAM and say, hey, how you doing? Guys, it's a very special episode. We have the FACECAM and I thought I'd just throw it in there for today so we can, you know, you can watch me pretending to think I know what I'm doing. But welcome back to another episode of SnowTown, guys. If you have been enjoying SnowTown, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new in here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when the next episode does come out. But last episode, we implemented the Cross River train network in a sense. We finally hooked up the two sides of the river's train line, which means that they can now export and import and bring in the goods from one side of the river to the other a whole lot easier in bulk, very, very fast, which has kind of led to the ability to now to create a passenger line. And what I wanted to do for quite some time is to have some form of public transport that links the workers to our industrial areas. Now we'll jump straight into this. It feels really weird doing FaceCam on this channel. I never normally do it. Because we... Oh, hold on. Let me pause. We have an issue. Right, before we fix that issue... I just want to say... Right, we have the industrial area over here. We have an industrial area over here. Over here. And over here. And even over here. But the fishing industry doesn't really matter at this point. But the common characteristic of each of these industrial areas, they're really, really far away from any civilization that we have within SnowTown. So it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to set up a public transport network, whether that be the metro, bus routes, whether that be, you know, trams, monorail, whatever it may be. Because of it's so remote, I have to create something really, really intense to kind of get those guys hooked up. But it's more natural to create a passenger train line because we already have the train lines going over there with the cargo stations. So it just kind of makes sense to kind of get them all hooked up. And that's what I want to do today, as well as many other expansions. But first, we need to fix an issue that is going down right now. So it looks like we don't have any heating. Now, I keep saying this for the longest time. Yo, Seniac, I think it's about time that you create a secondary utility area for over here, which I really need to do that. Don't worry, we'll get it done at some point. But it looks like they're running out of one power, which we haven't actually needed to add anything in terms of power in for a long time. So we'll squeeze something like that in. I've got Anarchy on. Let me just turn that off real quick. And we've been using these solar plants, which have been giving us quite a bit of power. Do I have anywhere else that's using power plants? I know we're not connected from this side, so yeah, we have got it over here. Let's see what else we can do, because obviously it's not cutting the mustard right now, these solar plants. So why don't we go for the solar updraft? They're just as big. We have the geothermal plants as well. That I might implement these on our little island, if I can squeeze any in. So these geothermal power plants utilize the warmth in the Earth's core. I don't know how that's going to happen in SnowTown. This place is ice. But it does provide 80. But then 80 is not really a lot, is it? I could implement the Tesla Gigafactory. It's going to cost $1 million and a big chunk of change to run. But that will give me 2,800 megawatts, which at the moment we're using 1,400. So it doesn't seem like that kind of crazy. Now, if I was to implement this in, I need a nice little bit of a space to kind of place it in. So we have over here the recycling centers. We have over here the advanced water treatment places and thingy-ma-bobby-ma-booties and all that kind of jazz. I feel like I need to reposition some of this. So let's slowly start to move stuff. So get that over to there. I'm going to delete this road cutting through. And I could place that there. If it didn't get the Tesla Gigafactory, I could place down more of those solar panel stuff. But then they're only really giving me up to 160, which eventually I will run out. So placing one of these bad boys down will do just the job. Now I can't get it sideways, so it's going to have to go here. And I think we'll drop it just there. We'll bring these power lines a little bit further down now so they do all connect up. Now, does it have water? Yes, it does. Just by placing that in, I'll leave it there for now. Maybe at some point I design it a little bit better, create a nice little area for it or something like that. But that's going to provide a lot of power. Like, our production is now through the roof. But it doesn't solve our heating issue. And that's literally down to the fact that our boilers right now do not have enough fuel. Now, the fuel comes from outside of the city. So, what's going down, game? What's going down right now? Where is my fuel right now? This in itself, we have two variations, geothermal heating. So it's not as effective as fossil fuel, which when you look at it, it only does 80. But that might be more consistent because I'm not having to fill it with fuel. It just comes from the earth in many ways. Which might not be a bad shout in terms of placing a couple of these down. It's just where do I squeeze it in because of the sheer size of the building. I could probably anarchy it in, but it's not really going to go down too well. Maybe oh man. See, it's actually quite difficult to try and then squeeze new stuff in around this area. This is why I need that new utility island section. This is why I need it. So why don't we try and squeeze something in? And I'm thinking, what I'll do to kind of make it fit is if I delete this section there and we put a kind of like a bend on it. Right, let me delete that. So if I can go from this point, it's not exactly flush. 13 by 13 goes all the way over. So I can then utilize that bend a little bit better by placing this down. So we'll have to anarchy it on, unfortunately. And we'll drop one there. And one there. It's not pretty, it's not beautiful, but it'll just be placeholders. When I build the whole, because this is a utility island that we created. I want to create something very similar on the opposite side right now to kind of supplement these guys a little bit more. And when I do, I think I'll set something better up and reconfigure this a bit better. But for now, it will do. It will do. It's got power, right? We'll fast forward to whatever the game will consider fast forward at this moment. It should provide a little bit of heating. There we go. So they provide, was it 80 again? Yes, I've added 160. So that might do a little bit until we get the fuel into those buildings. So a few of them are still complaining, but it is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? It is what it is. It's kind of sidetracking me from my main issues and the main stuff I want to get sorted. I might have to squeeze another one in because it's just not going to cut the mustard. So if I went for one there, I truly have anarchied this so bad. Right, so push this over. And maybe move it over a bit more to there. Spin that a bit. So I'm not happy with this, but it's something that I will eventually change moving forward. So there we go, 3 of those in. That should then solve the heating crisis that we kind of slightly have in. Which our consumption has now skyrocketed because obviously when you up the production, the consumption increases until everybody's got heating. I don't think it's gonna... Hold on, are these guys suffering from power issues? How? Oh, snap, yeah, because we don't have a connection going across the thingy-majig. I'm gonna have to do that, aren't I? Right, just for now then, I'm going to pull that across so both sides have enough power. Right, there we go. And then our only issue then becomes heating at this point. We're connected going across, aren't we? Oh, snap. Don't tell me we're not connected going across. No wonder we are having issues. Are we for real not connected going across? No, we are. I was about to say them for a hot minute. What's going down? Them buildings, we're waiting for fuel. Why are they taking so long? Who are you? You're at a police car. That's not what I want over here. Are you an oil truck delivering to a boiler station? This one. Which is one that already has oil. You? A garbage truck? Please tell me you're an oil truck. No, you're a bus. Don't even know, mate. Don't even know. Right, just to get these kind of issues solved then, what I'm going to do is just going to throw a few bits and bobs down right now. So this is just to kind of get the city from complaining until everything else is all set up. But this is going to push me in the right direction, or kind of give me a little bit of a rocket up your boy's booty to kind of get this stuff sorted. Because we can't continue any longer. We cannot continue any longer without the heating and stuff like that. So, nice little boost there. Gives everything what everybody needs. Won't stop the city from dying out. There we go. We're back to normal-ish. We're back to normal. But we implemented this in as well from that train station that we had connected in. And this is where our first passenger train station is throughout the whole of SnowTown, which we're going to start creating stuff from. But I did notice a slight little issue that we've done since last episode, and that is the amount of traffic that does revolve around this train station here. Which I kind of briefly mentioned that it would be a good idea to get a secondary train, cargo train station in. And I thought to myself, where could I pull it? I could mimic it over here, around here, somewhere on the same track line. But it would then just kind of create a lot of vehicles on this main dragger road, which we have quite a few linked connections to. So I thought to myself, if I move the snow dumps, why don't I kind of create something in this area? Now, again, this is going to be something that, with these snow dumps, I eventually need to reposition them, create a better system for them. So if let me turn the anarchy off, just get these placed over here for now, until we know fully what we're doing. I need to create like a designated area. This is, you know, it's on my to-do list. I've got so much stuff on my to-do list in this city. I don't feel like I'm ever getting around to doing it. It's, you know what I mean? It's one of those kind of things that you get sidetracked all the time. That's all connected up via power right now, isn't it? Yeah. It's got the water, but it gives me enough room to kind of play around with this. Now, over here we have a bus depot. I'm just more focused on getting rid of the road here. Dropping down a cargo train terminal. Now, I wonder if it makes sense to put 2 in. Like, if I run that to there, we have power lines here that we don't really need. And if I ran a secondary one there, does it make sense to have 2 within this area? I don't know whether it's a good idea to place it on this road, because the amount of traffic that we could potentially have on this, it bypasses through, and we're going to start making everyone stop and start from coming into that. So I think it is worthwhile to maybe get it to over there. Oh, we have our subway line just there. I just realised that. And if I go up by another 10 and then straight down, implement this on this side. So it kind of just keeps away from the main drag of the road. We've got this little circular road going around, and I need to upgrade it to this. Now, my thought process now is having 2 stations a little bit OTT. You take a little bit of the edge off this, because they always pick one over the other. They always pick the closest one. So I'm just going to have to move this bus depot over to this side. And we're still all connected up, but we're probably going to disconnect again right now as I get this train line connected up. So I might have to move that road as well, but let me just now ramp it up. So up to 10. And where will it allow me to do it? So I'll anarchy it over. So by 10 there. By 10 there. And then my options are I could merge it into one line from this. If I go to here and then do the old simple left and right system, and really we're bringing these guys into here. So if I do this, right, a little bit too close, but that's okay. I'm going to select you, and push them both back. And we're only getting one. Oh, there we go. Intertwined and connected. I don't know how busy this is going to be. Right, this is all just a little test run. I will change it if needs be, because I might need a secondary line to bypass this. And it might mean kind of extending that a little bit further, but we're starting to get a little bit of a build-up of trains coming into that. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens and how it, you know, plays out. But let's bring... that's not good. That is not good right now. So if I bring that down, I'm not liking the whole system right now. So if I bring this down to here, if I select you to there, and I wonder if I can slope them. No, it's not going to happen. It's really bad, isn't it? It does look terrible. And I can see that causing issues in the long run. But we won't know until it happens. We won't physically know until it happens. But I will say this right now. This is not my finest work. And it probably will cause a few little issues here and there. But my main thinking is I'm going to need a bypass route for, like, you know, have this completely hooked up down to this line. And do a few little crosses here, there, and everywhere. But it is becoming quite a busy line right now. But with those in, we'll see what happens. Hopefully these guys over here right now, when they start exporting, they go to these stations as opposed to going to this one. Just to slightly ease the traffic up a little bit. We can only hope, right? We can only hope. So give that some time to tick along. Do what it's got to do right now. I want to focus on the passenger train lines is what I want to do next. So we'll start then over here. So passenger train lines, and it's just simply to get the workers to each of the industrial areas. Actually, we have a subway stop over here, so I feel like we don't need a passenger train line here, because this area already is connected up. And the same for this industry over here. It has well, it has the monorail line just there. The tram line, the subway line is just over here, so it's all within walking distance. Or, no. I think I might for a train line. Because if it is the monorail, you have to then, like, switch onto it. You could be direct over here anyway. But to add a train line in over here, issues will arise. So if I did drop it there, it should give me enough room, right? Right, place it right here. It's kind of destroyed the path slightly that was set up there. So bring that out by 10, but then make it go down by 10. So, right, we'll go to here. We'll go to here, boys. And we're going to have to push this back slightly. Keeping within the tunneled mode. And we'll have to bow it out a little bit to then get a bend coming in, right? Alright, we'll bring it a bit more straight out. And where does it connect here? I'm not too sure. Okay, oh, it connects a lot earlier, doesn't it? And boom to there. So it's a little bit out of the way, but I will do it to this one because it's not fully connected like the oil industry is by having that central public transport depot in a sense, like the metro line is. So I'll kind of throw that in there. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we're making quite, well, I bet say we're making quite a bit of money in SnowTown. We're actually losing money at this moment in time. But that gets thrown in there for a nice little train station. It is what it is. It is what it is right now. I could have maybe elevated it over and made it go underground there instead. Yeah, I could have maybe tried that. Right. Train line is in there, but I know full fact we have nothing for over here and over here in terms of bringing people over. So this is where we're going to benefit the most from on these lines. Right, okay, so passenger line for the train station. I could maybe have it begin over here, but if I go to the hubs, don't we have like a train line that integrates in a bus depot? Or am I just making things up? It's this, isn't it? Yeah. So, because what I'm thinking is I could do a singular bus line going around here to get to all the little nooks and crannies via the train line. That's what I could do. If I implemented in the train station just there, which is going to cut through the little mountainous region. Now, this is where the real magic happens. This is where the real magic is going to happen for this one. So, is that kind of, yeah, that's kind of part as one. So, we'll use the untouch it mod to untouch all this. Just so I can upgrade the road. There we go. Get rid of the power lines tearing through all of this. Right, we'll redo them ourselves. To there. So it means we can have a bus stop just there, which is really handy. Right, it's really, really handy, that will be. And then the train line here, which I'll bring it straight forward. So it kind of goes through our little mountainous area, which looks pretty good. I will, you know, say that. And then if I do quite a sharp bend, but then with the move it, drop that down to there, bend that round slightly, because we don't need to go down this way. There's just no point of it going down that way. And then we have our train station hooked up there, which is near the worker barracks. We'll have a little bus route that just kind of goes around in a circular motion to drop the people off from the train station, so they don't have to get off there, then walk, say, all the way over to here. They could just hop on the bus and it will take them to where they need to get to. And then we did the same similar thing to over here right now. So I think we'll do the same thought process in terms of we'll have the train station close to all the worker barracks area. So using the same style of road that we have. That came across there, and I'm thinking about moving these worker barracks over to here. I like the farmland and the farm area worker barracks because it looks like I've created like a small little village, a small little kind of neighborhood. We've had the buildings sit on the edge of the road, which I think looks really, really good. And then I can add that in, but I want it on the opposite road. So if I brought that out by 10 and across, is it that wide? Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is that enough? Right, if I dropped it there, okay, then we unhook the road, delete that bit, upgrade it to be that style. So it goes directly into there. I can put more worker barracks back on this side, so it all kind of fills in quite nice. So again, it looks more integrated. And then we got a bus station stop there. And then we'll bring the train line out. So let's go back to a normal style of... Hold on. It's up by 2, isn't it? That building's slightly elevated, so it will make the train track slightly elevated. And I don't want to bring it up to there because we have that little connection. So I'll bring it a little bit further down. We'll pick a point here. So we'll do something very similar. How far away was this? That was by 8. So we'll go from there. Bring it to here. 11 by 11 bend. There we go. again, we're only really going to see one train at a time using it. And was that an 11? It's looking about 10. Right, I'll go for a bit of 11 here. And we'll bend it in a bit more. There we go. Simple. I mean, I can't really make it any more fancy than what it is. It doesn't really warrant me doing that. It's as basic and as simple as it's ever going to be. Nothing too crazy, really, is it? So, that's all done. I feel like that is slightly elevated a bit high, isn't it? And okay, so if I do bring it down, it kind of makes a hole in the ground. So, it is what it is, isn't it, really? And we'll do the same thing for here. The passenger line get up to theirs, and then we just set up a little bus route so they can travel here, there, and everywhere. It's going to be a pretty good system, hopefully. Fingers crossed. You know, fingers crossed. Now, this is the next thing, right? This is the next thing. Do I... Oh, let me check over this over here right now. This, trains are coming in. Hold on. Yeah, trains are coming in. Is it taking a little bit of alleviate? Yeah, there's not as many vehicles driving around this area right now, so it is alleviating it somewhat. But my issue is it's going to cause backlogs. So I need that bypass train track, don't I? I really do. Right, I'll come back and fix that a little bit later. But my thought process is right now, in terms of the train line, I'm ultimately having a stop there, a stop there. I need maybe a passenger stop around on this place, otherwise it's going directly over to here. And if you're working around here and you want to get to over there, there's not a train stop around here for you to utilize. You know what I mean? So, we need to do something. Now, maybe we incorporate it with the monstrosity that we've created over here. And we... Is having two stations too much? I think it is. I could turn one into a passenger train station, which then you can hop up, you can get off the subway line there, which, you know, tears through all the way down to SnowTown, and you can walk off it. That would make a little bit more sense, but it does mean that I'm adding in a passenger line. So just bear with me a second, guys. Just bear with me a second right now. And there is a bus line there as well. So with that being there, it's a little bit further back. There we go. It's a little bit further back than what it was originally, but will give me now time to play around with this. So let me delete all this. Right, and we'll sort out this train line right now. So, starting from there, we'll bring this directly down to here. To there. So, a crisscross happens there. And we'll allow a crisscross to happen just there. So, you can crisscross over different sides of the tracks and do as you will. As you will. Right, if I delete that little crisscross there for just a hot minute. Goes to there. And then bring this up to there. So we bring it up to each section to where it bends. Like that. And right. Then we'll create a crisscross just here. And that's going to connect into there. So as you get into that lane, you want to go over. You would have crossed there to come out. And if you're going that way, you will cross there as well. I'm trying to figure it out in my head, the best method for it. And I think it would be a really good idea to utilize maybe something going down from this direction. So if I came from here, pushing that up to there, straight there to there. Like that. And then, a bit difficult to see right now. Cut that into there. Because then it could literally bypass and create that little turn that we don't currently have at the minute. So you ain't got to go straight up to there. I don't know why I didn't create that as a little triangle junction in general. So, what it basically allows me to do, and thinking about it, I actually will need that there. Because train lines can bypass other like turns and areas, and I'm hoping I'm not adding in too many. As this one comes up to here, we'll go across by 8, by 8. Just play around with the... Actually, I'm going to bring that back a bit. So it allows you to join the train network, but at the same time, there's a secondary line to bypass all of that. To keep us going. Right, I'm just going to squeeze in the power lines there, the best I can do. And we'll see what happens with that. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't set up the passenger line, did I? Now, that's actually going to be a pain. Because of how the train track there is. I didn't quite think of that, did I? I didn't quite think of that. So if I actually... Now, what I'm thinking of doing is here. Is if I pick it there, go underground, there, to there for a minute. And then pushing this up to about 5. Then doing a 3. Is a 3x3 too much for a bend on a train? Yeah, and also it's a little bit too close to there. So we'll start it here. No biggies. So we'll do a 5x5. Because I've also got to think about where the train line's going to head. It's going to go up in that direction. So if I then make it go straight slowly and then elevate up to 10. Right. And then do we need this road? Because what I'm thinking as is if I make this go underground as well. Right, hold on. Let me just get rid of it for a minute. Because I want to use that point there to go underground. And if I do that, kind of sort the bend out a bit more like that, so it's not as harsh. Then I get the industrial road to bypass it. Am I asking too much for this train line right now? I feel like I'm asking way too much for it right now. And so if I then picked that spot there to there, is to where I then create this bend. So that's a 5x5, which then goes directly down to here. And then I just bring that in to this mark. So bringing this back down to 0. Cuts in, because that is really the direction it's going to be heading in. And bring that further down. Alright, it's a dramatic drop there, but I'm going to smoothen out the bend right now. So soften it. Power line going straight across. This is my next concern, is that triple header right there. Because it has to, it's going around the pillar on the highway. I'll see how much call I've got for it. But I feel like I'm stretching right now in terms of creating this. Whoa, what happened there? I think I was still selected on something else, wasn't I? To get that to happen. But boom. Smoother elevation. Okay. So passenger line there. We'll leave it as that. I think since doing that right now, there's not too much issues with the train line. We got bypasses. Okay, sweet, 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 sweet. So let's start this from up here. And it will stop here. So it's a good connection. So the train line is not to transport people like through the city here, there and everywhere. It's mainly to get them to the industrial areas. That is the main point of that. But to get into the industrial areas, we kind of do need to connect up the train network to some of the other public transport networks, which in this case here, it's literally connected to the metro line, and the metro line is connected here, there and everywhere through this whole side of the river. So that gets them onto the train network a little bit easier, and it's also connected near the tram lines as well, which makes it quite easy to transfer over to a different line. And that gets them onto the train line to go to the ore industry or to the other ones. But as we cross over here, we needed something to connect all of these guys right now up to the train line, which at the minute it's over here, which it's technically connected up to the tram line, the bus line, and the metro line, all within this small little radius, which the tram line goes down to there, the bus line goes to the depot, which is connected to the metro and other lines here, there and everywhere. So again, all kind of intertwined and connected, and the monorail is not too far away as well. So I want to bring them into there, but we can't do it because I don't have anything that kind of connects in from that angle. So I'll place a stop there anyway. Oh, actually, do you know what? I can't even do that. Okay, so we have to come back to that in just a minute. I never really realized about that. Now, is this a stretch? Doing something like that? Am I then asking for quite a lot from the game right now? Maybe. Maybe. Right, I've got to redo this line. I'm going to throw it in for now. Right. I know it will work, but... Oh, I'm going to have to create a new line, aren't I? I am literally pushing this train line to its limits. Right, just to get it to go in. So it stops there, all connected. Then off it goes again. We'll first get it to stop over here. There we go. And then we'll push it to go over in this direction. Which is just there. And then we'll want it to head back. Now, rather than taking it straight back, I'll make it go through all the same stops again. Because you are going to have people who are going the opposite way on the line and want to go back. So you might get someone who wants to get on the woodland area and go to the farming area. You just never know. So we're giving them that possibility. Right. Stop there. I'm hoping it doesn't create too much congestion. That is my only thing that I'm worried about. Well, if it happens, we can then see what's affected and then kind of edit it from that point. And that's really what we're going to do. So that train line is now technically in. That is quite the bend. I don't think trains should be able to bend that much. And we do have a... Yeah. We've caused some issues right now with a train jam. We really have. So what I'm thinking of is then, for this cargo area, I don't have it on this line. What I do instead is, if I select it, if I move it all the way back to there, where does it push the train line? So it pushes the train line slightly over the road there. Right. And then I'm going to elevate it up to 10 here. And then we'll do a 5x5 bend. And then we'll bring it down in this direction to get it to connect up to over here instead. That's where we'll do the connection for this. It just feels a little bit better. It feels like a smarter option, doesn't it? Because we're only going to cause too many issues. And I don't want to go down that route of then all of a sudden having train traffic I've got to freaking deal with. So if I do it like this instead, I know that side's a little bit like a monstrosity. And really, I could actually hook this up too. So if I page this up to here by 10. And I also made it bend on a 5 to connect to there. I then have that secondary option. And not saying that's going to redirect any of this traffic. But it does mean the train line can go down to here to cut in instead. Right? You see where that's going? So, it would be interesting. It would be interesting. I've given myself the option anyway if I want to go down and use it. Because then the train line can come down to here, cut in, there. And I could get rid of this whole little ridiculous secondary line. But I'll leave it for now. We'll leave it for now. Let them do what they've got to do. Let them update and sort out their new routes. I know that kind of clips the edge of the road. I will sort that out. I could actually use the touching mod to get rid of the train track and then extend it to where I actually want it to go. That then alleviates the pressure on that whole train system junction. But I feel like I need to spend an episode or two sorting out my train lines because I have way too many than what I need. I really have overcomplicated that whole little area. And I've just simplified it by just making the train lines pump out of this side. Means I get rid of the underground sectional here, the little bends there. It's pretty simple. Have made it pretty simple. But forgetting that though, I have now officially got these areas all hooked up and there's people on it, people using it, it's all good stuff. I just need to set up the bus lines. So, bus lines then. We get them to start over here. So it starts there, and we'll have the first one, or the first line, go from there. It can cut in, and we can have it stop. Now I want to maximize the amount of this area as possible. Have it stop just here. It can come up and stop just there. It could then go into this area and stop actually up at this area. Because there's not much going on that road. It can then turn around and come back. We'll then have it come in. And again, I want to try and keep some of these areas free. So if I have it stop in. It's quite difficult to see under the train track. It stopped there. It can then come in and stop just here. So a stop there for these guys, stop there to walk over for these guys, leads down to this area where we can do a stop. Let's go for yeah, I'm gonna throw it just here. Did that work? Yeah. A stop then down there. So one for there. And then pretty much head back. So it's just a round route that kind of gets to all the little pockets in the farming industry. So you can travel by train to the farming industry, hop on a bus, takes you to where you need to go. That's all we really want it to do. Same thing for over here now at this point. So stop in there. So that's for this area. We'll bring the first one and stop it here. And then the next one can come around and then stop there. This one then can come down and stop here. We'll get one to then come up and stop just there. And that's more for like around this region as it brings it out. So this is actually a shorter one than the other one. But that should be utilized pretty well as well. So I'm just trying to make it as connected as possible, make it as transport friendly as possible so I can really make the workers access the areas a whole lot more so we can really then have the efficiency turned up to maximum. So already getting people using this train line, which is good to see. And just judging what's going down right now, I think it would be best to get rid of this bend. So wait for that train to pass through. I'll delete the bend and then see how it updates the route from that point. That would be interesting. So technically, it should then cut down this bit, go down here, down to here, round and up and then in. That's what it should do, which it does. Comes round and then passes under and goes off in that way. So I could actually keep that line in. Makes a little bit of sense. And then when they're coming from this way to come back in, they'll go into there. And then they'll go round back in to shoot back out. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it? It is pretty simple. So, no issues there, really. No issues there. And I'm happy. I'm happy to a certain extent. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Do we see people waiting at the bus stop yet? This has had 3 people this week use this bus station. Any more? Was there anybody on this train? It's got nobody on it at the minute. Nobody got off of that one. I have to give it time to allow them to start, you know, bringing passengers around. So that's actually got 1 person on that train. 1 person has travelled all this way. Wow. But I want to see what this 1 person does. There's a person here right now. Where are they going? They're going to Park Plaza, which is all the way over here. Oh, snap. That is 1 journey that person is about to attempt right now. So they're going to hop onto the train, aren't they? So here comes somebody getting off. We should see them shortly get off. There they go. And are they going to the bus? No, they're going to a workers' barracks. So they can walk it. It's pretty easy for them. This one has 6 people on. Okay, the trains are now starting to ramp up. There is quite a few trains coming in. That's got 1 person on. Fair enough. There's a lot of passenger... Wow, there's a lot of passenger trains now coming into the region as well. Which is causing some backlogs right now. So, that's interesting as well. That's something I never really thought of. Is the passenger trains coming from outside the region. Which, like I said, they're causing backlogs for me now. But as they move, as they skedaddle, they should slowly get out of here. If I get rid of that, and we make the train line there go directly out, because there's no reason why it needs to turn in. That'll be pretty handy. Should alleviate some troubles ahead. So people coming from this stop here, or this stop that want to go also out to the edge of the region, they'll use this line, thus eliminating the amount of traffic on that. But worst case scenario, if I start to feel like it's getting a little bit OTT, I'll get rid of the outside connection and move the connection somewhere else. Because it is a little bit too close for comfort. I can get rid of it and then do like a little Y connection here, like what we've got there. Push the train line up and then make it go out in that direction. Or completely bypass it, like have it connected somewhere else. Like have it go up from here and kind of connect that to there or something like that. Just kind of move it out of the way of the farming area. Because I can see that being a future issue. With the amount of trains that are ticking along. Right, how many's on this one? There's 28 people on this one. Right, so them trains are getting full. I want to see 28 people get off on this station. That's what I want to see right now, guys. It's what your boy wants to see right now. So let's go. Let's get this going. Let's get this done right now. Right, that train's coming in hot and heavy. Toot toot. I have too much fun playing this game at times. Right, people are getting off. I just want to see if anybody gets on the like to the bus stop. Another thing as well, there's no bus depot nearby, so the buses have got some distance to travel right now. And I think everyone's just dispersing in their own routes, aren't they? Like, where are you going, my lady? The main farming building. Okay. More trains coming in. That had 1 person on board. Apparently, but there's quite a few and there's a couple of dogs as well. Right, there's the buses finally coming in right now. So it will do what it needs to do. How is this one performing over here? No one's really used it yet. No one's really on that line. Do I eventually connect that up to the edge of the region, that line? I don't know yet. I don't know if I go down that route. Any passenger trains now on the way into this section? Is that one there? Yeah, it's got 10 people on board. So it is being utilised. Not as much as you would like it, but then again, if I did start seeing like hundreds of people using those trains to get to these region areas, that would be kind of weird because we don't really have that many people travelling over there in general. No train traffic from what I can see, so it's not perfect, this whole setup, but at the minute, it's working. So, I mean, what do I say at that point? What do I say at that point? My issue here is this triangle. I never thought about this issue. Now we are completely backed up. So it would be ideal and more beneficial to run this line here. Right, let me pause. Further down like that. And I'll cut it in just there. Because of how long the trains are, once you get the little kind of triangle on the go, you kind of then lose the ability for anyone to give way. So having one line a little bit longer than the other allows us to then not have them trip over one another and get stuck. That makes sense? So it's kind of have to play around with. Might cause an issue for this in the future, but I don't see why it would too much anyway. I'm just waiting for that backlog to now clear. So there's not really much I can do at this point. But again, I gotta play around with it. I've gotta, like, you know, sort stuff out. And then we've got this issue with the crossing. So then what I do at this point is bring let me delete that. There we go. That's what I'm trying to connect it into. Bring that to there to connect in. So it passes over on that side instead. And just kind of merge like we don't even know it exists. The power line's in. So the crossing happens there. So again, you don't get that little awkward tripping up over one another. That passes through. Once it's gone, these guys then move. That can then turn in. No one's any of the wiser. But I do need a more simplified version. I 100% know that. We'll set that up at some point. But I've got it to the point where it's functional. And that's all that matters at the moment, is to have it semi-functional. But I have really overcomplicated it. I do that quite often, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm happy for the most part anyway. So how are we doing over here in terms of the train station? No one's really used that just yet, but I don't suppose we've got any trains coming in just yet, have we? The line's just there. The passenger train, oh, it's now on the way. So I don't suppose it will have any on there. I don't know. It's quite a close area anyway that they can drive to it if needs be and whatnot. So it'll be nice to see if any trains are coming, or any passengers on this train. Oh, actually, do you know what? One person's on that train there. There's a fair few people waiting on the station. So if it doesn't bring anybody, oh, it brings 26 people, and it's going to take a fair few people out of here. So 39 going back. Yeah, it's beneficial. These train lines are definitely beneficial. So I think I'm going to end it for there, guys. I really think I am. We've got it connected up now with the train lines. It means the workers are able to get over to these areas a whole lot easier, which I'm hoping that we then start to fill the gaps. What's unemployment like? 3%. So I do have room to add more residential in, which can fill up some of the nooks and crannies in these areas. I do have a residential demand, so we'll get some of that in next episode. We'll just see how it goes. We just want me to see how it goes. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the face cam as well. I know I don't do it often. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. Let me know if you want to see more of it in the future. I might bring it back every so often, here, there, and everywhere. But, guys, hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.